Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please get the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread? First card that we are starting our day off with today is the Queen of Pentacles in its reversal. This card may look familiar because we did pull her yesterday in its reversal. If you will recall from our daily collective read yesterday, which you can catch on my YouTube, we did see the fact that both feminine and masculine were both in this Queen and King of Pentacles in its reversal. And what we really identified yesterday was there's something about the masculine energy being in a space of feeling some lack of stability that was getting reflected on the feminine. We see that that is still continuing here today. Let's get some clarification on what we are seeing here. Can I please get the second card in our 5-card spread? Second card that we are seeing here today is the 10 of Pentacles in its reversal. So one of the things that we are identifying right now, and it is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, is for the feminine, there is some feeling of instability that is arising up at this moment. But we are also identifying that a lot of this feeling of instability is externalized instability. It is feeling some anxiety or some degree of issues as it relates to the external environment that is around you at this time. Today could be a day that you are spending a lot of work or concentration in trying to come into some sense of order as it relates to some chaotic energy that you're currently experiencing around you at this time. For feminine, this is going to feel like a very internalized process, doing a lot of work on the personal self as you're trying to navigate some of these feelings of chaotic energy. While for masculine energy right now, this could be trying to address some overall feelings of instability or insecurity as it relates to both the feminine energy that's around you at this time and just the general environment that you find yourself in today. Working through some of this as you try to process this. Let's continue to get some clarification here. Third card that we have coming through today in our 5-card spread is the 5 of Pentacles in its reversal. And we're actually very glad to see this card in its reversal, because what we're really identifying is today is a lot of time and concentration spent in your tangible space, working through any issues or difficulties that you're currently experiencing. For feminine and masculine right now, what we like to see is even as you are experiencing some of this energy that could be feeling somewhat chaotic. For feminine energy, this is feeling like a more internalized imbalance from some external issues around you at this time. While for masculine, this is just kind of experiencing this both from the feminine energy around you and some of that outside energy. For both energies, what we really like to see at this moment is the fact that you're not allowing yourself to act from a space of reactivity. Instead, you are identifying the triggers that are being potentially hit from some of that chaotic energy that's around you at this time, doing this work to address any trigger points, any abandonment wounds, to come into a sense of deeper security as you proceed forward from this point. So this is a lot of effort and energy right now to mitigate and address any feelings of chaos or disorder around you at this time, to come into a sense of better comfort as you proceed forward from this point. All of which we are very, very happy to see. Let's continue to get clarity on these cards right now. Fourth card coming through right now in our 5-card spread is, we have here the 7 of Swords in its reversal. Again, another card we are very happy to see in its reversal, because what we are truly identifying, as we've indicated from the cards that we just saw, is the fact that while there are some feelings right now of disorder, of a little bit of controlled chaos, if you will, for masculine energy, this could be putting a lot of attention and trying to address these points, both in the environment around you right now, and also helping feminine energy feel more secure in this moment. For feminine energy, this is a moment that you are working a lot on your own internal sense of balance amidst some of this chaotic energy that's around you at this moment. What we love to see here for both masculine and feminine is this is a moment of truly addressing abandonment wounds, coming into a space of recognition, not letting yourself act reactively, but taking that time and intentionality to create a deeper sense of easement. And we see here that the solution to this is not returning to any circumstances or situations that have caused you any degree of difficulty. This is a coming into a point of addressing, and this is speaking a lot towards some of that hangman in its reversal that we received multiple times this week, wanting to come into into a state of easement. For some of the collective right now, this is having a point of addressing, having a point of adjustment, allowing for these adjustments to occur both around masculine and feminine energy at this time, so that you can move forward from this point from a state of better easement without experiencing or repeating any past patterns or issues that have caused any points of difficulty or caused any abandonment wounds to be triggered. While for the other half of the collective right now, this is you making the tangible choice of moving away from any circumstances or situations that you simply are feeling are causing too much chaos for you at this moment, with a deep commitment not to go back to circumstances and situations that are causing this degree of chaos or disorder in your own life at this time. The final card for our first 5 spread is, may I please have the 5th card? We have coming through right now, and this is what we love to see. We love seeing this card as well with this 4 of Pentacles in its reversal, because as I said, today is a day of putting a lot of immediate tangible effort into a point of correction for both masculine and feminine energy right now. What we love to see about these cards, again, with the blockage coming through, we do recognize that there is a blockage here. There are some feelings of disordered energy around you right now that you are working tangibly to correct for. But what's so lovely about this spread that we're seeing here is, rather than acting reactively, rather than addressing and having these moments of moving from a fear-based mentality, addressing any abandonment wounds, you are observing your own abandonment wounds being triggered at this time. For half of the collective right now, this is immediately putting immediate directed action, putting your time and energy right now in correcting any of these imbalances, feeling like this is something that is helping you heal your own abandonment wound at this time, with a commitment for both masculine and feminine, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, not to return to any past cycles or patterns that have caused any degree of difficulty. A lot of this energy is concerted effort to move forward in a more positive direction. While for the other half of the collective right now, this is a moment that you are putting a lot of your time and energy in correcting for any feelings of imbalance right now, as you move away from any circumstances or scenarios that are causing too much disorder, too much chaos in your own life. You are recognizing the abandonment wound here. You're not returning to it. You are putting a lot of concerted effort in not going back to situations that are causing this kind of chaos, potentially by triggering your abandonment wound, by again putting a lot of care and attention into your tangible space right now as a correction point as you move forward from this point. Now let's get some clarification on the cards that we are seeing today. Clarification between our Queen of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our 10 of Pentacles in its reversal. So again, this will feel a bit different for feminine and masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, this is feeling like a lot of personal correction that you are working on right now. Something about this externalized feeling of disarray is affecting you internally right now. And we see here that feminine's putting a lot of consideration and concentration in trying to come back into alignment right now, feeling and creating a sense of stability for themselves at this moment. For half of the collective right now, this could be working again in unison with masculine energy that is healed, that you recognize is also paying a lot of attention to helping you come into a space of deeper correction mutually. For the other half of the feminine collective right now, this could be moving away from any energy that you feel is causing too much of this feeling of disorder, too much of this feeling of chaos at this moment. While for masculine energy right now, this is a very aligned energy, because masculine as well, you are observing either right now masculine that you are working right now in collaboration with a feminine energy that is feeling some point of instability, but you are putting a lot of concentrated effort in adjusting the environment around both you and this feminine energy, recognizing that there's something is about the situation or circumstances around this energy that needs to be stabilized so that this energy feels more secure going forward. For the other half of the masculine collective right now, this could be moving away from a feminine energy that you are recognizing or feeling is in a space of creating a continual sense of disorder or instability in your own life at this time, and that you are working right now to ease any of these correction points as you potentially move away from this potential energy. May I please have one card to clarify? There it is, clarification coming right now with our Knight of Wands in its reversal. We've been seeing this card popping up, so this is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy at this time. For masculine energy that is working in union with the feminine energy, this is that point that you yourself are also experiencing some of this externalized chaos that you're working to ease with the feminine energy. Because what we are really recognizing right now is something about this disordered environment around you right now. It's not necessarily making you feel less unstable, but it is creating a blockage as it relates to your own ability to communicate, your own ability to drive forward on your passions, on your plans right now. This is that point right now for masculine energy. You are working with that feminine that is feeling unstable at this moment, but you're also experiencing some of your own blockage and being able to do this work without the energy. This is showing the collaborated efforts of the masculine and feminine needing to kind of be able to come forward to address this point right now, but feeling some points of instability and being able to do so. For masculine, this is having a degree or issue around communication, while for feminine, this is just causing a feeling of internal instability. While for the other half of the masculine collective right now, this is a moment that you potentially are moving away from a feminine energy that you are feeling is creating too much points of instability in your own life at this moment. Recognizing that there's something here about the disordered environment around you right now. This is you potentially pulling back your own communication and your own energy from this energy as you proceed forward from this point. For the feminine collective, again, these are perfect reflection points because we are either seeing that feminine is working right now in union right now with a masculine energy that is feeling some way fundamentally blocked in order for their own degree or capacity to plan or communicate right now, leaning on the feminine energy to assist in that degree, while for feminine, they themselves are still experiencing some of this instability, but you are working with the masculine to help them communicate better as it relates to laying down these plans, while for the other part of the feminine collective right now, this is you potentially moving away from a masculine energy that you feel to some degree or capacity isn't communicating with you in a consistent, workable fashion that is causing too much degree of chaos in your own life right now, creating this point of instability. So this is that freeing point that we're seeing the other half of the feminine collective embodying at this time. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 10 of Pentacles in its reversal in combination, which we like to see here, with our 5 of Pentacles in its reversal. So what's important here is not the sense that there is some feelings of chaos that need to be addressed right now. More so, the important significance of this is you are not allowing yourself, both masculine and feminine, to act from a point of reactivity. There's something about these situations or circumstances that for both masculine and feminine right now, you are recognizing is somewhat triggering. But you are doing that work to potentially actively heal, to take the steps necessary as it relates to going forward from this point. For half of the collective right now, this is working in collaboration to ease, to come into a point of easement and solve for any of these disparities as you work to mutually heal this abandonment wound that you're both potentially triggering in each other at this point. While for the other half of the collective, this is potentially you moving away from any energy that you feel is causing this degree of chaos, causing this feeling of disorder around you right now, as you pay a lot of attention to your own doubts and fears at this moment, moving with intentionality through some of this emotionality. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now, and we love to see this with our Page of Pentacles. There's a lot of tangible work being done right now in the space to create a point of easement, both for masculine and feminine energy right now. For both masculine and feminine energy, either for the energies that are working to remediate for some of this chaos, you are literally putting tangible work in today to work on building a better, stronger foundation, even as you may potentially be feeling somewhat triggered. For the other half of the collective right now, this is a moment that you are putting a lot of effort in easing any of the chaos that you're currently around you right now as you move away from circumstances or situations that are too triggering for you in an attempt to heal some of this abandonment wound. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 5 of Pentacles in its reversal, and we love to see these cards in combination today. The 5 of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our 7 of Swords in its reversal. So for both all energies right now, it is not the fact that you are not being triggered. We see here that there is an abandonment wound that has been triggered, but You are moving and working with intentionality at this point, recognizing the trigger itself with a commitment not to go back to situations or circumstances that have caused too much degree of difficulty, caused too much pain. What we're really embodying here at this moment is, for some of you, this is a point of correction. You are doing immediate work in collaboration with outside energy to come into a state of easement, to allow for things to be easier as you proceed forward from this point. While for the other half of the collective right now, this is you basically just moving away from something that is causing too much pain, that is causing too much difficulty. It is acknowledging that it is only causing you pain and difficulty that is allowing you to do this work as you continue to heal this abandonment wound at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Knight of Cups in its reversal. This will have a bit of a different feeling depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now. For masculine energy right now, that are in union, there's something around these circumstances and scenarios that are triggering that make it hard for you to emotionally communicate the way that you would ideally desire at this point. You are putting this time and effort and energy right now to try to come into a remediation point with the feminine energy that's equally feeling some points of instability at this time. But there is something here about your own, and we've been seeing this in the cards over the last few days, your own vulnerability as it relates to your own ability to drive forward in your communication right now and your emotionality as you work through some of this trigger that is being hit, but doing a lot of immediate work in the tangible space to try to correct it. Making sure to kind of hold on your own emotionality to make sure that you're not allowing yourself to come from an emotionally reactive place. Instead, trying to work on expressing your true desires and needs at this time while healing the abandonment wound. While for the other half of the masculine collective right now, this is a moment that we're seeing that you are just easing or moving away from some circumstances or situations that have become too difficult or painful for you right now. Recognizing that abandonment wound is being triggered, putting this commitment or degree in and not letting yourself go back to situations or circumstances that have caused pain. And this is that moment that, again, you are pulling back the communication, pulling back, holding back on expressing your own emotionality towards these, because there's something here that you feel is creating some kind of communication or emotional blocker. While for feminine energy right now, again, we see that there are two different sides of the feminine collective at this time. For half of the feminine collective right now, again, you are recognizing that there needs to be a point of adjustment as it relates to some of the masculine energy that you are in union with at this time, because something about the situations or circumstances are creating an environment where that masculine energy is feeling some inability to emotionally connect at this time. You are putting a lot of this work in right now to try to heal any of the abandonment wounds that are being triggered so that you can move forward from a greater degree of confidence. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is you potentially working right now with away from a masculine energy that you are recognizing isn't showing any capacity or degree of being able to communicate or emotionally express themselves, which is causing a feeling of chaos or disorder in your own life at this time. This is a commitment to yourself not to go back to situations or circumstances that have caused you any difficulty and pain as you proceed to heal this abandonment wound. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. Clarification between our Seven of Swords in its reversal in combination with our Four of Pentacles. Again, two cards we love to see in combination with each other, because what we're really identifying for both masculine and feminine energy right now is there is a recognition point. This is beautiful because what we're really seeing here is there is a commitment occurring not to go back to situations and circumstances that have caused pain, not to repeat the mistakes of the past, but also simultaneously a deep commitment to want to give forth at this time in order to build something more positive for yourself in this moment. For masculine and feminine energy right now, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Either this is a moment of correction, pouring your time and energy right now into situations and circumstances so that they will be easier as you proceed forward in union together. While for the other half of the collective, this is a commitment to pour your time and energy right now into the present space to address any feelings of disorder or chaos that have occurred because of these situations, with the commitment not to go back to these circumstances overall. May I please have one card to clarify? clarification coming through right now with our King of Wands in its reversal. So again, this is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, one of the reasons, if you are in union right now, one of the reasons that you are working right now, putting so much time and energy into the tangible space, is you are recognizing that there are some circumstances or situations right now that are making it harder for you to be able to plan, to be able to coordinate, to be able to communicate. This is you putting a lot of immediate attention and work right now in laying down that energy to be able to create a point of easement for you as you go forward, potentially working in collaboration with the feminine energy that also requires some feelings of stability at this moment. While for the other half of the masculine collective right now, there's something about these circumstances and situations that you're moving away from right now that you are effectively identifying are not creating any productive path for you going forward. This is a moment of orienting around something where you feel like you can't communicate, you can't emotionally express yourself. And this is that commitment not to go back to circumstances or situations because you feel like you might not necessarily be using like your best planning, might be not the best intentions as it relates to going back to those because it doesn't necessarily serve your long-term path and your long-term goals. This could be feeling like more of a struggle for the masculine right now in order to do so, but we see that commitment as you go forward from here to really put into those places and spaces that allow you that long-term perspective in terms of where they're truly going. For the feminine collective right now, what we're really identifying is, again, this is a moment that you are either working right now with a masculine energy that is feeling somewhat disempowered as it relates to their own ability to coordinate and plan with you at this time. Having this be a point of redress, making some tangible efforts right now into making a point of adjustment so things will be easier from this point going forward as you continue so that the abandonment wounds aren't being as effectively triggered. Well, for the other half of the collective right now, this is you just shedding and letting go of some masculine energy that you are identifying does not have a degree and ability to communicate, it doesn't have any way of showing emotional expression, is only seeming to move for their own intents and purposes. And that's that moment that you are releasing this energy as you show that degree and capacity of wanting to put your time and attention into places and spaces that are going to be able to reciprocate with you effectively in kind. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. I got to point out, a lot of reverse masculine energy here. So this is going to feel very like a challenging day for the masculine to deal with some of this external energy that is causing you to feel some of these limitations and blockers right now. Clarification between our Knight of Wands in its reversal in combination with our Page of Pentacles. So a masculine energy right now. For masculine energy, this is feeling like there are some situations or circumstances that make it hard for you to move forward with at this moment. But we are seeing here that this lack of ability is actually allowing you to double down, to put more committed effort into those circumstances and situations that you're trying to drive forth in right now to help deal with any of these blockages or hurdles that you're currently experiencing at this time. While for feminine energy right now, this is recognizing either one of two sides of this right now. Either, again, working in collaboration with a masculine energy that is feeling like they need some clarification, they need some ability in helping their own feelings of communication and directionality at this point by putting a lot of tangible work in right now for this energy to assist them, even as you're going through a moment of instability at this moment with the circumstances that you are sharing with this energy. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is you potentially addressing and recognizing that there is a masculine energy that you feel is non-communicative or moving in a way that is not consistent, that makes it too difficult. But we see here that you're putting a lot of tangible work in right now to create a state of easement as you potentially move away from this type of energy. May I please have one card to clarify? This is the Two of Wands in its reversal. So again, Planning, communication, coordination is key right now. A lot of the work being done today is all around communication and planning for both masculine and feminine energy. For half of the collective right now, for masculine energy, there is a lack of communication or optics right now that needs to be addressed. We see here that for half of the collective, you're having tangible support from external sources right now to help get the security that you need to be able to plan going forward from this point. While for the other half of the masculine collective right now, this is potentially you pulling your own energy away from some circumstances and situations as you put your time and attention into those places and spaces that you feel in a tangible way are going to be able to help create these points of easement for some of the chaos that you're experiencing at this moment. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that either you are falling on two sides of the collective right now. For half of the collective right now, you are working with a masculine energy that feels somewhat blocked in order of seeing this path going forward right now. You are recognizing that it is building a point of vulnerability for them in terms of being able to really kind of connect with you and communicate with you at this time. But we see that you're putting the tangible work in right now to try to remediate and make a point of easement for this energy as you proceed forward from at this point. For the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is you effectively moving away from some masculine energy that you don't get consistent communication on. You don't get that degree of ability or consistency in planning or seeing that path forward. And you are recognizing that you need something that feels tangible here in the face of an energy that seems like they cannot show up to you in this degree and capacity. This is you pulling your own energy back from this right now, recognizing that this energy is not working in collaboration with you at this time. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Page of Pentacles in combination with our Knight of Cups in its reversal. So for masculine energy right now, there's something about these circumstances and situations. We're seeing that you are feeling a bit of a blockage right now. For masculine energy, if you look at these cards, we see that there is something here that is feeling like a bit of an emotional hurdle as well as a passionate hurdle. But we see that you're putting tangible effort in right now to try to correct for these points as you go forward. For half of the collective, this is you putting this tangible work in with the feminine to be able to address or remediate any feelings of chaos that are externalized at this point that you recognize are the external situations. While for the other half, there is a moment right now where you could be feeling like the feminine energy is the one causing this, and you are potentially pulling away from those energies that you feel are creating these points of instability as you put your concentration back in the tangible space to remediate for any of these issues. While for feminine energy, what we're really identifying is at this moment right now, again, reflecting this energy that you are either working in collaboration with a masculine energy that is feeling in some way or degree blocked from being able to express themselves passionately or emotionally right now, but you are recognizing that it is an external issue that can be addressed, putting this time and attention and care in right now to create a more stable environment as you proceed forward, to create a point of easement on some of this externalized chaos. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is identifying that you feel like this energy is creating a sense of chaos because they are not collaborating with you, but instead they are not communicating in an effective manner that feels consistent as it relates to their own desires and passions, feeling like they're serving their own purposes at this time, while also not providing that emotional support that you need at this moment, pulling back your own energy to remediate the damage or the problems that this energy has caused at this time. As you pull your own energy back, may I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the 10 of Swords, and we love this. We've got double 10 cards here. This is cycles coming to a point of completion. This is that moment of recognizing that a cycle of difficulty is reaching a point of easement. This will feel different depending on where you fall on the cards right now. For half of the collective, again, for masculine energy right now, this is either a point of correction. You are recognizing right now that there is a circumstance or situation that has become overly difficult. But you are recognizing right now that you are working in collaboration with feminine energy that is showing some degree of capacity of being able to show that stabilizing support even in this moment, that is allowing some of that difficulty to come to a point of completion, hence the cycle coming to a point of closure. For the other half of the collective right now, masculine, you are recognizing that there is potentially a circumstance or situation that is being caused potentially by a feminine energy that you feel is too destabilizing. You are working right now to remediate any of those issues as you let those cycles come to a point of closure. While for feminine energy right now, we've got a perfect reflection also occurring, because again, you are either working right now with a masculine energy that you are recognizing there are some external situations or circumstances that are making it hard for this masculine energy to emotionally connect with you at this time. But you are putting that tangible effort in to try to assist that energy on remediating those external circumstances, hence allowing that difficult cycle to reach a point of completion. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is recognizing that there is a masculine energy that is not showing you some emotional support at a point where you yourself are feeling you need that support because of some of the feelings of instability you're experiencing at this moment. You are putting tangible work into your own immediate space to try to address and correct it for yourself at this time, and you're allowing those cycles to close around a masculine energy that you don't recognize you feel is being supportive enough at this moment. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Page of Pentacles in combination with our King of Wands in its reversal. So again, this will feel a bit different for feminine and masculine energy right now, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, this is again a point of putting in a lot of tangible effort right now around any circumstances or situations where you feel you are being blocked in terms of seeing the path moving forward. For some of you, this is working in active collaboration with feminine energy to create a point of easement as it relates to the circumstances around you that are causing these difficulties. While for the other half, you are pulling back your energy right now as a point of addressing some of these issues away from an energy that's causing these issues in your life at this moment. While for feminine, it is a moment of same. This is either working right now with a collaboration with a masculine energy that feels like they are not necessarily in a space where they can plan with you accordingly, putting that energy to address any of that difficulty, not in collaboration with an energy of masculine that's caused it, feeling like their lack of communication is moving from a more purpose-driven, personally internalized sense of direction instead of wanting to collaborate with you at this time. May I please have one card to clarify? That we have some communication issues. 1 minute, 1 second. Okay, hold on, I can fix. Am I back? Hold on, we're just confirming. It's frozen? Just a moment. Just want to confirm if you guys can still hear me. I'm back. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, I just want to confirm where I left off. Okay, great. Where did I leave off? Did you guys hear this part here? Did I leave off here? Thank you guys for notifying me. You guys are the best audience. Okay, so where did we lose? It's still lagging. There's huge sign and confirmation. Okay, so this is where we were lost before. Okay, so we're going to continue. So again, getting clarification right now between the masculine energy right now, either one of two sides. As I mentioned, this is either a masculine energy right now that is working through a feeling that there is a lack of degree of an ability to plan due to some of the outside circumstances and situations around them at this moment, but getting that externalized outside support from feminine at this time to try to come into a point of easement. While for the other half of the masculine collective right now, what we're seeing is this is a moment that you are trying to come into a point of easement, recognizing, pulling your own energy away from some circumstances or scenarios because you are taking that energy and trying to correct for some issues that potentially are caused from the unstable feminine energy. While for feminine energy, it is quite the same. These energies are in alignment right now because what we're identifying is for feminine right now, either you are recognizing that there is a masculine energy right now that has a difficulty or degree being able to plan and coordinate with you in an effective fashion at this time, but you are putting a lot of care and attention right now in trying to assist with some of these external issues right now as you proceed forward from this point in collaboration with the masculine energy that's working on these external issues. While for the other half of the collective right now, this is potentially recognizing a masculine energy that you feel is causing this degree of instability, of chaos around you at this time. You are not getting that assistance from that energy because you feel like it is moving and with only its own intentions and purposes at play. And this is you taking your time and pulling your own time and energy back right now to address any of the issues that they may have caused as you allow that cycle to come to a point of completion. The card that we pulled to clarify this for all energies right now, which we love to see, is this 9 of Pentacles in its upright, because for both masculine and feminine energy right now, this is coming into a point of easement. This is the closing out of the difficult cycle. This is moving away from anything that is causing too much discomfort or difficulty. Why we saw the Hangman coming up in its reversal so many times this week. For half of the collective right now, this is both masculine and feminine right now, working in union. Move forward from a place of better easement as you proceed forward from this point, recognizing that these are external issues that can be corrected and feeling that collaborative energy as you continue to correct them. While for the other half of the collective right now, this is a moment that you yourself are working to free or move away from any energy that you feel is causing too much of this blockage right now, recognizing that you yourself are pulling back on your own energy to create a sense of addressing any of the chaos that that energy has caused to come into a state of deeper easement. So what we like about this is for all sides right now of the collective, there is a moment of moving away from what is becoming too difficult, what is causing too many harms, with addressing of the abandonment wounds at play, letting those cycles close out, recognizing that the abandonment wounds there, either working in collaboration to create better easement going forward, or just letting those cycles reach a point of finalitude and closure. For masculine energy that is coming into closure, this is recognizing that there is potentially a feminine energy that is too unstable or creating too much instability in your own life right now, and that is why you're moving away from them. While for the feminines that are experiencing this closure, this is feeling like the masculine energy is moving too much with a directionality of serving their own purposes at this time without that ability to collaborate that is also allowing you to pull back your own energy at this time. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 2 of Wands in its reversal in combination with our 10 of Swords. So again, working right now to correct or to end cycles. For some masculine and feminine energy right now, there is either for the feminine and masculine energy in union right now, there is a mutual recognition that needs to be observed of better planning, better communication to allow for some difficult cycles to reach a point of closure, putting in tangible work at this time to make things easier as you go forward and allowing these difficult cycles to come to a point of closure. For the other half of the collective, this is a moment that you are just allowing the closure point to occur. You are pulling back on your communication. You're pulling back on your energy because you're recognizing that something around these circumstances or situations with this energy is creating too much external difficulty for you, and you're not experiencing that degree or capacity of collaboration to create a state of easement at this time. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now. We love this. Clarification coming through right now with balance. Balance for both all energies, whether you're in union right now or you're not in union. This is that moment of coming into balance. Just keeping your focus on what feels balanced, what feels collaborative, what feels equal at this time. For the energy that is in union right now, this is working on any communication or planning hurdles to allow for some cycles to end that are becoming too difficult, all with the unified effort on both sides of the energy to create a sense of balance. While for the other part of the collective right now, both masculine and feminine, there is a recognition right now of wanting to move away from an an energy that you are either feeling is creating too much chaos, too much disruption points in your own life at this time. You are closing out those communication cycles. You are allowing these things to come into the point of ending so that you can achieve a point of balance back in your own life at this time. Beautiful energy that we're seeing here. Love to see this coming through. Continuing to get clarification between our 10 of Swords in combination right now with our 9 of Pentacles. So again, what's really beautiful for both masculine and feminine energy right now, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. There is a committed effort right now to close out cycles. As I said, what were we seeing here? Closing out cycles, either working to make a point of amending any communication or planning hurdles for a sense of better balance and for deeper immediate comfort going forward. Situational comfort, security comfort, but also a point of better balance. While for the other half of the collective right now, this is allowing any cycles with energy that is creating too much chaos in your own life to reach a point of completion, all with an orientation on building better balance and allowing your concentration to return in creating that sense of balance for yourself at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? We got 2 cards coming out to clarify. We've got the Ace of Wands with the Temperance card. Beautiful energy that we're seeing here, because this is that moment that is really saying, like, time, enough is enough. This needs to be done now, right? There needs to be some expedience that's occurring right now to allow these shifts to occur. For both masculine and feminine energy, whether you're in union or not right now, this will feel a bit different. For the masculine and feminine energy right now that is in union, this is that moment of allowing some cycles to close. You are recognizing some blockages and hurdles that need to be addressed. You are moving forward right now with a sense of concentration for both energies of wanting to make things more comfortable for each other. As you proceed forward from this point, you are feeling like you are taking this active moment right now to do so, that now is the time, feeling that call or that expediency in doing it, and you're driving forward right now. The solution is by communication and planning, overcoming these hurdles right now with immediate communication and planning to help address and allow these cycles to come to a point of closure. While for the other half of the collective right now, this is you just allowing these cycles to come to an end right now, that you have said to yourself that you have potentially been waiting right now, either for masculine energy right now. This is you having to allow some degree or capacity of a feminine energy that has not shown a degree or ability to show stability coming forward at this time. You're just letting that cycle close out. While for feminine, there's a feeling of a masculine energy potentially that you feel is not communicative or moving only about their own direction, their own purposes at this time, working to try to collaborate with this energy, not experiencing it. This is that time that you're just letting the cycle come to a point of closure, recognizing that time is up as you communicate and move into the directions of trying to amend and create this sense of balance for yourself at this moment. Beautiful energy, because for both masculine and feminine right now, we are seeing that there is immediate easement that is occurring, either with personal inspiration in order to take these steps at this time to allow these cycles to close, or allowing for immediate addressing of these circumstances and situations to allow for better easement going forward. Final card for today's spread between, and we love these cards in combination right now, because what we're really seeing here is combination of our Justice card in combination with our Temperance card in its reversal, in combination with our Ace of Wands energy. So again, there is a moment right now of a lot of directed, driven activity today, all in the sense of feeling like now is the time, now is the moment to activate on this energy, all for the sense of building better balance and restoring communication. For half of the collective right now, this is taking immediate efforts right now, immediate opportunities coming through right now to allow for better balance going forward. This is happening very swiftly to allow for these cycles to come to a point of closure. While for the other half of the collective right now, this is you taking immediate action to close these cycles right now, all for the sake of restoring a sense of balance for yourself at this moment that will allow you this easement, that will allow you this communication, that will allow you to come back into a state of your own personal power as you move forward from this point. May I please get one card to clarify? Final card for today's spread is the Four of Wands in its reversal. We keep seeing this card arriving again and again and again. This is that moment because this is building right now on how to correct for the immediate situations that you're not getting clarity on. Why is everybody moving so quickly? Everybody is moving so quickly because there is a feeling like now is the time to address these circumstances and situations. For half of the collective right now, that is in union. This is working to overcome any of the challenges that we recognize and see as it relates to the short-term plans, the short-term goals. Putting this care and attention right now, a lot of directed effort in communication to come into better balance as it relates to any of these blockages in terms of the short-term path and goals. For the other half of the collective right now that is not in union or is feeling any of this disruption energy around the energy that is creating points of instability or moving around towards their own intentionality without collaborating. This is that moment that you are just freeing yourself, communicating the fact that there isn't something here that seems like it's allowing for these opportunities for even short-term positive motion regardless of whether there's long-term, because if you can't clarify the short-term, there is no long-term. And this is that moment of feeling like time is up on waiting on this as it relates to these circumstances and situations. Bottom of the deck on this reading today is the Page of Wands in its reversal. Everything right now has to do with communication. For some of you right now, one of the difficulties that may be being experienced is a lot of this has to do with the fact that you have to make some of these personal choices for yourself at this moment, feeling like a lot of the issue is potentially coming through in the fact that you simply cannot get effective communication from the other party as it relates to the path going forward. And this is what's creating a point of disruption to the point that it could feel so frustrating, because for some of you, this is going to be a moment that you're freeing yourself of this energy, because we see here that you're trying to get clarification and you're just not receiving the communication that you require to allow that to occur. For the other half of the connection right now, masculine and feminine that's in union, there could be some issues, and we've seen this coming through, about the difficulty in discussing some of these situations or circumstances. There is a hesitancy in this because these are new conversations. There are new topics here. These could be places that you are feeling very vulnerable to communicate on right now that makes this communication difficult. But again, we see for the masculine and feminine energy that is in union right now, you are doing everything you can to overcome your own hurdles in communicating in this new fashion or in this new way that is allowing you that even as you're doing it is difficult. These are difficult conversations that you are having. That is our speaking about communication issues, that is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. Please keep in mind, my private readings are done over video with the option of recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Also, please keep in mind that booking a private reading on my website is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and then you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you hit both buttons if you're going to have that reading. Most importantly, I would like to remind you that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your DMs and tell you that I have a very special message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my website. So please do it there. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and sharing this reading with me today, and we will do this again tomorrow.